Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another broadcast of Audubon Green Wave Baseball, here broadcast exclusively on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments, or you'd like a serious sponsorship inquiry, then drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. Today we have what is known as the Thank You Classic, which is not a tournament per se, but it's played all throughout South Jersey, in part to honor those that have served in first responders, whether it's policemen, firemen, or those who work in EMS. However, today the Green Wave are looking to extend their winning streak. They had a good game versus West Deptford on Wednesday, winning 4-3 in 12 innings, where the game lasted 3 hours and 37 minutes. And then on Thursday, when Audubon High School had a teacher in service, Haddon Township came to town, and they mercy ruled them 11-1 after 5 innings. Now on Saturday, coinciding with Audubon Day, as the fire trucks line up the street of Walnut, Dustin Bellis is doing some quick introductions, but Washington Township this year 5-6 in the Olympic Conference and 3-2 in the American division of that. Their season started with an 8-2 loss to Kingsway, and their last win was on April 21st versus Cherry Hill East. They've lost the last 3, 7-1 versus Timber Creek, which Audubon will play later on this year. Believe it's either next weekend or the weekend after that. They lost 8-1 to Cherokee on the 25th and 4-3 versus Camden Catholic on the 27th. However, this is their 4th straight road game, and guess what? They have 5 more road games after this. They're not going to be home for another game until May 16th. And I know that Washington Township has some new athletic facilities, so they're still working out some of those kinks. However, for Washington Township, this is a long road trip for them, and Audubon has been home all week. They haven't had to go on the road. The next game that they will have on the road will be on Tuesday, May the 3rd, versus the Gloucester Lions. Starting on the mound today for the Green Wave is Jason Stocklin, making his debut for the Green Wave. We'll see how he does, and we'll see how Washington Township does here in the Thank You Classic here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We're going to direct our attention now to the field as they're taking off their caps for the anthem, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. Thank you. Now we're about to play ball from Hank Greenberg Field. The Washington Township Minutemen 5-6 in 2022. They've had a long road trip, and Audubon will take the field first. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Amato brothers. Had them for dinner last night. What did I have? What did I have last night at Amato Brothers? You remember?
Cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak, right.
Oh, so good.
I know. And you had a chicken cheesesteak, right?
Chicken cheesesteak. Big chunks of chicken, lots of cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Always a good time and never breaks the bank.
Always a great time at Amato Brothers. We thank them dearly for sponsoring today's broadcast and all broadcasts covered by Dan Wilkins Broadcasting during the 2022 Green Wave season. If you want to be a part of the action, and if you want your brand or business or store, whatever it may be, to get some prime time advertisement time on the Dan Wilkins Show and all the different broadcasts that we do, then as I said, drop me a line, serious sponsorship inquiries only, at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. I know sometimes I say too fast, like The Dan Wilkins Show, but if you are unsure how to spell it, The email is also linked in the description of every Green Wave broadcast, basically the same excerpt that I repeat to you live on air. For the Washington Township Minutemen, starting this afternoon, will be Jared, Ziergowski. He will be pitching. However, we're going to take a look at the Green Wave, who are going to take the field first, and we'll take a look at the Minutemen lineup after the managers and captains converge at home plate, as Tony just passed by us on his golf cart. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Both teams are converging at the front of their dugouts, the Minutemen and the Green Wave, and we'll see how many minutes it takes for Washington to capitalize. However, here come the 2022 Audubon Green Wave onto the field for the Thank You Classic this afternoon. Jason Stocklin on the mound making his Green Wave debut, the freshman right-hander, 5'6", a very lanky fella who knows how to throw a strike and a good fastball. We'll see how he does this afternoon facing the Washington Township Minutemen starting lineup right here, right now. Leading off and pitching is number 4, Jared Ziergowski. Batting second and playing second base is Matt Corner. Batting third and catching is Jack Fitzpatrick. Batting cleanup and playing third base is Kyle Crozier. Batting fifth and playing first base is Dan Riceley. Batting sixth and playing left field is John Striano. And batting seventh playing center field is Matt Bonzal. Batting eighth and playing right field is Vinnie Roberts. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is Chris Smith. That's your Washington Township Minutemen starting lineup, looking defensively for the Green Wave. Not too much from the normal ledger, except Charlie Grady is back in left field for his first start since the infamous Collingswood game, where he had a couple of defensive miscues and he was either DHing or out of the lineup for a couple days. Looks like Rich Horan is confident enough to put him back in left field. He bats eighth this afternoon. No real significant changes, except Scott Lynch is DHing tonight and John Perozzi is at first base. Zach Beebe in right field as normal. He rounds out the order in ninth. And as Jason Stocklin meets with his infielders on the mound, we're almost ready to go here in the Thank You Classic, as they will face Ziergowski to lead it off. Jason Stocklin. Jacob Ziergowski facing Jason Stocklin in his Audubon Green Wave debut. He's not in the major leagues yet. First pitch from Stocklin, and the Thank You Classic is underway with a ball inside and low. 1-0 to Ziergowski. Washington Township 5-6 this year. They've been on a long road trip. Their last home game was 9 days ago versus Cherry Hill East, and the 1-0 is a swing and a miss on a hefty fastball, and it's 1-1. In fact, they have, if I count correctly on NJ.com, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or straight road games that they have to play. Their next home game is May 16th versus Bishop Eustis, and the 1-1 is a swing and a miss by Ziergowski. Seriously, they have 6 more road games left. Audubon, Clearview, Eastern, Lenape, Seneca, and Shawnee before they go out to Bishop Eustace, or they go back home to play Bishop Eustace on the 16th. The 1-2. Swinging a high drive to center field. Going back is Massey to the warning track, and he makes the catch up against the wall, 1 away. And you wonder why Massey is D1. Not many outfielders can make a play like that, can read the ball as good as Xavier can, and that shows off his incredible defensive ability, and that's why he's going to shine at Rutgers this fall. Here's Matt Corner, second baseman this afternoon for the Minutemen. Even though Washington Township has a record below 500 right now, out of their 5 games that they've played in conference games, in the Olympic Conference, as the first pitch to Corner is upstairs on what looked to be off speed. It's 1-0. For Corner, he's a senior infielder, 5'7", 145 pounds. He bats .423 in 2022, 11 for 26 as there's a ground ball to short. Wiltsey throws over, and it is in time, 2 away. This brings up Jack Fitzpatrick. Sophomore catcher, he was starting varsity freshman year in 2021, 15 for 49. However, this year he bats .412, 14 for 31. 5 doubles, 1 triple, 3 walks, and a slugging percentage of .618, well above average for this kind of ball player. And it's 1-0 to Jack Fitzpatrick, 5'9", 175 pounds, listed on NJ.com. And that one is down and in, 2-0. If the inning were to continue, the third baseman Kyle Crozier would be on deck for the Minutemen. Fastball right down Broadway, and it's a called strike. It's 2-1. Swinging a high drive to right, looping in, and going out is Driscoll, and he makes the catch. Beebe was running in, but it was shallow enough that Beebe didn't have to make the play. It was Sean Driscoll who made the catch. 1, 2, 3. The Minutemen go down in order. We go to the bottom of the first. Green Wave get their first chance to hit in a scoreless game in the Thank You Classic. Jared Ziergowski starting this afternoon for the Washington Township Minutemen, 6 foot, 190 pounds. He starts his second appearance of 2022. His first appearance did not go as scheduled, a 2 2/3 innings appearance with 4 Ks, but 9 walks, 5 earned runs, and a 13.12 ERA. That appearance was versus Camden Tech on April 13th. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Audubon Green Wave this afternoon. Here for the Thank You Classic. Leading off and playing center field is Xavier Massey. Batting second and playing short is Tyler Wiltsey. Batting third and playing first base is John Perosi. Batting cleanup and playing second is Sean Driscoll. Batting fifth and playing third base is Isaiah Pinckney. At the DH position and batting sixth is Scott Lynch. Jason Stockland is pitching, however, he will not be in the lineup this afternoon. Ryan Zimmer bats seventh and catches. Charlie Grady is out in left field, batting eighth, and Zach Beebe is in right, rounding out the order in ninth. That's your Audubon Green Wave order, and Zergowski will come in to face Xavier Massey, who had that good catch in center field to lead off the ball game, and we'll see how he does in his first at-bat. He had a triple in his first AB versus Haddon Township on Thursday, which eventually led to the game being tied and led a good rally that eventually ended the game after 5 innings in an 11-1 score. It's 1-0 to Massey. And a pitch from Zergowski is down and away. It goes to the backstop with a thunderous thud, and it's 2-0. That's how you know a pitcher has good velocity, when he completely overshoots his catcher and you just hear the loud bang of the tarp behind home plate. That's how you know he's throwing hard. 2-0 from Zergowski. Upstairs, and it's 3-0. Massey takes a look back at the mound. He knows it's nothing crazy. It's bottom of the first inning and a 3-0 count. No, you're not going to hit a guy, or at least not going to try to. Washington Township, of course, out of conference, about 20 minutes away from Audubon, 20 minutes south. I believe they are in Gloucester County geographically. As there's a 4-pitch walk to Xavier Massey. No chance. And here comes up Tyler Wiltsey. Outside of the teams from South Carolina, I think the furthest team away that I saw this year was the Enfield Eagles, which came over from Connecticut for a scrimmage. They had been playing all over the place that weekend. They were playing in Connecticut, then they drove down to New Jersey for Game 2 of a doubleheader. Game started maybe 10-15 minutes late because they were running behind. Ball 6 is what they're calling. The Audubon dugout is cheering for balls as there's a strike. They were saying ball 6 because Zergowski had thrown 5 straight balls to Massey and Wiltsey. It is a 1-1 count, by the way, with Massey on first and nobody away. It's just like Little League all over again. You got those rowdy dugouts. That one goes to the backstop. Massey goes to second base, takes a lead off there and eventually retreats. No problem for him. That will count as a stolen base on the wild pitch. It only counts as a stolen base because he started going before the ball got behind the catcher. That's my understanding of it. The 2-1. Downstairs, 3-1. From what I've understood, and I've read most of the Major League rulebook, and that I know my nerdiness is showing there, but from what I understand is that if the runner starts to go before the wild pitch, that it counts as a stolen base. As there's a high pop-up, that one is headed for the moon, and it is foul. And that one landed right behind somebody's wooden shed out there. And it's 3-2. Full count to Tyler Wiltsey, the freshman shortstop. Downstairs, ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Zergowski, and there's 2 runners on with nobody out. This brings up John Perosi. Perosi with 1 homer this year, as Bob Kelly will meet out with his pitcher, and the infield will go in after back-to-back walks. Perosi with 1 home run this year. During the Ralph Shaw tournament, he hit a home run to dead center field versus Kings Christian in their 14-2 win. As we hear an ice cream truck passing by. Yeah, Audubon Day is going on right back there. You can see, if I can get a view past the school bus, it's very hard to see. Yeah, something like that over there. You can see they got tents set up. They got vendors back there. This broadcast is partially brought to you by the Borough of Audubon. We thank them for their partnerships with us and their support of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, as the first pitch to Perosi is a foul back to the chain link fence behind home plate. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop by after this game. It lines up perfectly with them. Audubon Day started at 11 o'clock. This game started at 12. And for those that, want to get out of their seats, grab some hot dogs, and come on back, it's right across the street. It's no longer down the streets of Merchant like it used to be, thanks to the construction and the opening, as it's an 0-2 count to Perosi. It's a great year to be back in this celebration. It was canceled, obviously, 2 years ago because of COVID. 2021 was canceled for the same reason. As the 0-2 is a breaking ball that goes about 5 feet above the catcher's head, and everybody moves up 90 feet. That one was way, way high. But yeah, the Francis J. Ward Rec Center opened in 2020, in the fall of that year, as that one is down low, 2-2. I've been in there a couple times. We hosted a couple parties in there. And it's a great place. And they're having vendors inside the building, vendors outside the building. They got a bouncy castle back there. Whole buckets of fun. 2-2 ground ball, too short. It's picked up, and the throw to first is going to get away. And that one will go out of play, so Perosi will go to second base. Massey will score. I believe Wiltsey, is that going to send him to third? Yeah, because it moves them up an extra base. So runners on second and third, and it's a 1-0 Green Wave game. As look at this, we got a Cessna plane flying overhead. I don't know if I can get a good shot of it. Yeah, there it is. See the banner up there? I tried to get it earlier, but it has a banner on top that says the fall of Saigon, April 30th, 1975. Excuse me, the camera was a little high. And it's 0-1 to the cleanup man, Sean Driscoll. Runners on second and third, no outs. Yeah, nice little two-seater plane flying overhead, as there's a high drive in the right. Going over for it and making the catch is Roberts. Coming in to score is Wiltsey on a sac fly, and going to third base is Perosi. So an RBI sac fly to right for Sean Driscoll, and it's 2-0. A nice start for him, and here's Pinckney. It's coming back over, so I'll try to get a good shot of it when we get the chance. Maybe in between innings if it's still up. But yeah, it's a yellow, looks like a two-seater Cessna. First pitch, and that one is upstairs. 1-0. But that's what this Thank You Classic's all about. The first responders, those that have served in police, fire, and EMS, all of the above. So that commemorates, I forgot to today was April 30th, but yes, it's commemorating the fall of Saigon in 1975. So there's your history lesson for today. A very nice tribute, as that one is upstairs and inside, 2-1. So I believe that makes it 47 years ago since that event in the Vietnam War. It's 3-1. Runner on third and one away. Yeah, that plane is making a loop around the stadium several times. Maybe Isaiah's home run ball is going to hit it, but I spoke too soon. It's ball 4 to Pinckney, and he will take first base. So runners are on the corners now with one down, and this will bring up, I believe, Charlie Grady? No, it's Scott Lynch, excuse me. Zimmer will be on deck. Remember, Stockland is not in the batting order tonight. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said you can hear a lot more from our dugout today. The last game they were almost silent. So this is great to hear them being vocal again.
Might not have any voices left after this one.
As long as we win, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's 2-0 to Lynch. Lynch posted on his Twitter yesterday about the fact that he received a letter from Yale University for football. He's received a lot of football offers. He's a very decorated individual. He's received awards left and right. He is one of the most praised individuals in all of New Jersey sports. As let's try to take a look at that Cessna again. I don't know. You can see him right there. Flying right over us. There's a high drive in the left. Going back on it is Roberts, and it is off the fence. It stays in play, and a run will come in to score. Perosi is in, an RBI double for Lynch. He's been wanting to break the cold streak, and he finally did it. It's 3-0. Lynch has had a slow start to New Jersey baseball after being used to playing in St. Petersburg, Florida all sophomore year. And that one was just inches away from getting out of here off the center field wall commemorating our state champions. And Ziergowski has his back up against the wall as he'll face his 7th batter of the inning with only 1 away. Runners stand on second and third. It's Lynch on second, Pinckney on third. And Zimmer will bat. If the inning were to continue, then Charlie Grady will be the next up, followed by Zach Beebe to round out the order. Ball 1 to Zimmer. Yeah, Lynch wasn't exactly having the best start, but that doesn't mean that that's going to either stay how it is or whether that's going to be a change and a trend for the future. We still have about a month to play, folks. You know, not even considering the possibility of playoffs. You know, once we get there, we get there. But you know, if you think about the fact that this team has had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows all year, as there's a ground ball that shoots in the right field for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes around third. It will be Lynch scoring a 2-run single for Zimmer, and it's 5-0. A monster first for this team, for the Green Wave, and I believe that Charlie Grady, he is the 8th batter of the inning, and we still got 1 out. This is a lot like what Collingswood was. And we are going to see a double switch here. So they are working out lineup cards, and this would mean that Ziergowski would be out after 0.1 innings. We were talking about a ERA was 13.12 going into this game, and they are going to yank him right here with some light applause from the Minutemen faithful. We're going to see a pitching change. We'll give you details after we come back from this break. We're back from Hank Greenberg Field. It's 5-0 Green Wave with one away in the bottom of the first. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Quick Pit Podcast, run by my good friends Nate Relum and Connor out of their studio in central Pennsylvania. They'll be talking about all the latest news in NASCAR, Formula One, and all forms of motorsports, all the news, information, and hot takes that you need in that form of whether it's NASCAR or even some of the IndyCar stuff as well. They've been ramping up their stuff as well. The Long Beach circuit was recently. And, of course, this weekend is Dover for the Cup Series as the first pitch to Charlie Grady is upstairs, and it's 1-0. So we thank Quick Pit Podcast for their generosity in donating and being a sponsor to Green Wave Baseball. It's 1-0. The new pitcher is Joe Ruffino, replacing Jacob Ziergowski as a swing and a foul back to the tarp, and it's 1-1. Ziergowski, who had a 13 ERA going into this ball game, hasn't helped his statistics much as he gave up 5 runs with just 1 out. And he faced only 7 batters before being yanked. He now goes into right field. Joe Ruffino was not in the field going into this ball game. However, he has been thrust into a uncomfortable situation with a runner on first, as now that's a high drive in the left. This one's going back to the left fielder who's got a can of corn there, and he makes the catch. Damian Broadhurst running on first, by the way, for the catcher Ryan Zimmer, and there is 2 away. So Joe Ruffino seems to restore some order in the Green Wave lineup. This brings up Zach Beebe. Looks like that 2-seater Cessna has passed by us, honoring the fall of Saigon 47 years ago today in 1975. In part, what all this Thank You Classic is about, honoring the first responders in police, fire, and EMS, all of that. And remember, this is not a tournament played at one ballpark. This is played all throughout South Jersey. There's games being played in Clearview. There was supposed to be a second game played here in Audubon, but those 2 teams eventually fell out of negotiations, and it is only just this one game here at Hank Greenberg this afternoon, as there's a swing and a miss, and it is 1-1. Kyle Crozier, Dan Riceley, and John Striano will be the hitters due up for Washington Township in the top of the second. And the 1-1 to Beebe is a swing and a miss, hefty hack by the right fielder, and it is 1-2. Joe Ruffino, the junior southpaw, 5'11", 180 pounds. He has a 6 ERA in 2022 and 16 1/3 innings, 14 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. As there's a swing and a miss. Speaking of strikeouts, make that number 9 for Ruffino in 2022. But the Green Wave bring home 5 runs and 9 batters come to the plate. So we'll have 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Minutemen in the top of the second. Here from Hank Greenberg, 5-0 Green Wave. Kyle Crozier, the third baseman, leading off for the Washington Township Minutemen here in the top of the second inning. I'm Dan Wilkins, play-by-play man for the Audubon Green Wave. If you're just joining us, the Green Wave jumped out to a 5-0 lead as the Washington Township Minutemen look to defend that here in their second trip to the batter's box, as the first pitch from Stocklin is off speed and a strike. It is 0-1. Kyle Crozier, the senior third baseman, batting .379. This is his first full varsity season. No recorded statistics from 2021 or previously, but three doubles and 11 for 29, 7 RBIs on the leisure for Crozier in 2022. The 1-1. Swinging a tapper past the mound, going out to Driscoll on the throw to first, is in time. 4 up, 4 down for Stocklin. You know, I had high praise for Nick Caladros on Thursday when I was talking about how fluid this class of 2025 is, where, you know, even though they'll be seniors the year after I graduate from Audubon High School, they still have just such fluidity within them where, you know, these guys are all friends. They all work together. They've been in the same classrooms. They've been on the same travel teams. They've been on the same ball clubs for 8 or 9 years. Ever since they could walk, they were on a baseball team. And that's why I am so hopeful for the Green Wave going forward. You know, when I was getting started with the scrimmages versus Kingsway versus Enfield and all those guys, you know, I was cautiously optimistic because I had not seen how the class of 2025, the current freshman class, would adjust to high school baseball. Would it be the same as whether they were playing in junior ball or little league? And I've come to the conclusion that, yes, they are able to adjust. Because Tyler Wiltsey being the number 2 hitter, you know, as a freshman, that is absolutely monumental. The fact that they can do that with such confidence, as there's a ground ball to first base. Picking it up is Perozzi, flipping it to Stocklin in time, 2 away. Great defensive show there by Perozzi. That's what they practice. They practice that for hours on end, showing that they can flip the ball to the pitcher. They don't have to run it themselves. Perozzi has enough speed where he could probably run himself to first, but that just fluidity on defense and that communication is such an improvement from last year when the Green Wave had 39 errors in 20 games, averaging almost 2 errors a game. The first pitch to the left-handed batter, John Striano, is a ball, and it's 1-0 to Striano. Striano's 1-0 is a strike high and away. Striano having a repressed, if you will, 2022 season. He's only 5 for 25, batting right at the Mendoza line, and Perozzi snags that one at first with ease. Great defensive showcase from the Green Wave this afternoon. They look to keep it rolling on offense. We'll go to the top of the order when the Green Wave come to bat in the bottom of the second. We're going back, bottom of the second. Green Wave lead 5-0 here over the Washington Township Minutemen here from Hank Greenberg Field in the Thank You Classic, honoring our first responders in police, fire, and EMS, as Xavier Massey will lead off in the bottom of the second, facing the left-hander Joe Ruffino as the first pitch. Joe Ruffino. First pitch is a ball in the dirt, chasing some worms down there, and it's 1-0 to Massey. It's Massey, Wiltsey, and Perozzi due up in the bottom of the second for the Wave. In the dirt again, skipping off of the catcher, Fitzpatrick, and it is 2-0. There's a swing and a high drive out to right, headed towards our booth, and it is gone! About 5 feet away from my booth. I might have had a little heart attack there, but Xavier Massey with a home run right over my head, and it is 6-0. Massey touches the plate by himself, and he is met by his teammates right next to there. And it's 6-0. Here comes Tyler Wiltsey. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get that baseball. We'll bring it. Yeah, you can bring that over.
Yeah, I heard that ball.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, ooh.
So Xavier Massey, it's a home run about 5 feet away from my camera. It is 6-0.
I just ducked.
Did you even see it? You got the umbrella over your head.
I didn't see it coming, so I just ducked.
It's 2-0 to Tyler Wiltsey.
He did say he was going to hit one our way.
Yeah, and he did. I should have brought my glove. I gave it to one of the Washington Township guys. It landed about 5 feet from my camera. Yeah. Yeah. Number 22's got it. He was not on our roster, so I don't know exactly who that is, but he was just walking around, and there's a swing and a miss. Hope you got that on your camera, Harry. Hope you got that shot on your camera. It's 2-2. Perozzi on deck. I didn't know if that was going out, but I was just like kind of starstruck by the fact that the ball was heading right towards me, and I didn't have my glove. My A900 is still at home, and it's 3-2 for whenever my next Phillies game is, probably on Wednesday. Full count. Tyler Wiltsey, 3-2. In the dirt, ball 4. The rally keeps on moving along as it will be Perozzi coming up to the plate now. Sean Driscoll on deck for the Wave. You just got to wonder when is the fever in this team going to break, because right now it's looking really impressive. That was the second home run of the year by Massey. As the throwback to first is not in time to Wiltsey. That home run went 371 feet, according to Google Maps home run metrics, as the first pitch to Perozzi. From the left-hander is a swing and a miss. That one was a bullet right by him, and it's 0-1. Runner on first, nobody out, 6-0 Green Wave. There's a line shot in the left, and that one is going to go over the head of the left fielder, Striano. It bounced off his glove. Here comes Wiltsey with a full head of steam, and it's 7-0. And John Perozzi with an RBI double. The fever will not break on this ball club. It's 7-0. 2 runs in the second, 5 in the first. And Washington Township is getting pummeled on the road here. I mean, this is a team that is it's a very large school, and this is a team with a lot of talent, a lot of prestige, and they are getting crushed this afternoon, as it will be Sean Driscoll at the dish. I mean, this team is a ball club that they're one of the big schools that plays other big schools. As Driscoll bunts, and it is caught by the catcher, but the throw back to second is going to go away, and it's going to go into center field. That was almost a double play because I don't think Perosi was expecting Fitzpatrick to make the catch, but he was fully alert and was able to get back to second base. Of course, it was a moot point because they got back in time anyway and the throw went to center field. So, I mean, this team, their 5 wins this year have come against Shawnee, Eastern, Camden Tech, Paul Sixth, and Cherry Hill East. Those are all big schools, and I know that from the fact that I live a half mile from Paul Sixth, so it's this is a pretty darn big school facing a small school like Audubon with only 800 kids. And I know 800 kids doesn't sound like it's a small amount, but like when we looked at Kingsway, when we went to Kingsway on March 22nd for the first scrimmage of the year, and we were still figuring everything out, that was a big humbling experience, not because they won, but because of the fact that their school is so large. Our school is literally just on 3 blocks of land, really, and 3 buildings, A building, C building, and D building. That's about it. And there's no parking lot, You park on the side of the street to pick up your kids. And does it become a nightmare at 2:32? Yes, it does. But that's the thing about being a small school. And Audubon is showing that this is a small school with a lot of talent. We have a lot of people that are transferring from other schools that are choosing Audubon, willingly choosing Audubon. It is 2-1, by the way, to Isaiah Pinckney with a runner on second and 1 out. Like, for example, in men's basketball, he's going to step off. That
Loving the enthusiasm.
The enthusiasm is, bar none, some of the best that I've seen all year.
Kind of helps though when you have a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, you can kind of squash them how you want instead of when you're down, as that's a swing and a miss. Pinckney was flailing at that one, and it's 2-2. Like in men's basketball, for example, we got a guy, Caleb Eller, who is absolutely phenomenal ball player, and I know that because I've been crossed up by him in gym class about 4 times this year in 1v1, but he's an absolutely incredible shooter. He can shoot from 3, he can shoot from mid-range, and I'm excited to announce his name in the fall on the men's basketball, not live streams, but the public address work that I do, working with Adam Kramer and all those guys. Great crew to work with, especially in the fall and winter. And that'll be my first full season doing Audubon boys basketball and hopefully women's basketball as well. I still have to work that detail out, but I'm not going anywhere for now. It's just 3-2 to Pinckney with a runner on second, and the pitch from Ruffino is away. Perosi holds at second. He thought about going but held up, and now that first base that was open is now occupied to bring up Scott Lynch. Had an RBI double off the wall in the first inning. That was just mere inches away from being a home run, which would have been his first of the year. He had 2 last year, playing down in St. Petersburg, Florida, in his sophomore season due to the COVID pandemic. Spent his freshman year in Audubon, and then sophomore year he went down to Florida to help pursue his football career because of the fact that it was 2020 and it was a really shortened schedule for football. I believe they only played like maybe 4 or 5 games. They never really had that full 8-game potential. And Scott Lynch wanted to be able to play in front of a full crowd and play in front of a program that, had maybe either looser restrictions or whatever the case was. He was down in Florida for a year, and very, I would say very generous of him to come back to Audubon and showcase his skills here, because guess what? If you're going to Florida, if you're going to a giant school where you know you're going to get scouted, then why go back to New Jersey? He came back to Jersey willingly, and we're very glad to have him back on this ball club. As there's a swing and a miss, throw back to first. He threw behind the runner, and they got him. Heads up play by Fitzpatrick to retire Pinckney, and there is 2 away. So we can remove the runner on first. Perosi remains on second. That's not really Pinckney's fault. That's just all-around good defense. And even though we've seen maybe a few holes in their defensive lineup from Washington Township, they still got some glimmering spots, as that one is outside. Fitzpatrick, again, being very alert, keeping his head on a swivel. And it's 2-2 to Scott Lynch. Ruffino looks back at second, and the 2-2. From the stretch, he deals. And there's a swing and a drive, but it is foul, headed towards our Audubon day, folks. There's so many cars parked on that road. I'm not surprised if one's going to get their windshield mashed in today. We need to be sponsored by Safe Light Auto Glass. Because that's coming out of the town's budget. The 2-2. So that's a swing and a drive down the line, but it will go foul. And the fan almost made a great catch, but eventually backed off. We did have somebody warming up, or we do have somebody warming up in the bullpen. Just not sure for who it was for the Minutemen. They were throwing, and now they're not. But the 2-2 from Lynch, or excuse me, to Lynch from Ruffino. That's a ground ball that's fouled off his foot. It is number 27 warming up in the bullpen. There he is right there. That is Sam Kashak warming up for the Minutemen. A 2-2 count to Lynch with a runner on second. Pickney was picked off of first after having the ball thrown behind him, and he was caught off guard. The 2-2, Ruffino from the stretch, is a breaking ball, and he's punched out at home plate, and the side is retired. So at least some damage control is done for Washington Township, but a little too late. 2 runs scored by the Green Wave. They look to get back at it, 7-0. Well, Jason Stockland has been absolutely rolling, 6 up, 6 down, and the center fielder, Matt Bonzal, will be the leadoff man here in the top of the 3rd inning. 7-0 Green Wave, first pitch. That one is fouled back to the apparatus behind home plate. It's 0-1. We were just talking to Xavier during the break, and I said, you're responsible for any ball that hits our camera or our equipment. That was cutting it a little close. Made her duck.
I was covering the equipment.
Yeah, the 0-1 is down and away, 1-1. Second home run of the year for Xavier, as we said, went .371 according to Google Maps home run metrics. That's a swing and a foul, and that one goes back, and I think that might have hit Zimmer or something. It either hit him or landed right behind him, and that's what I don't like about that whole apparatus thing. I get what it's for, to protect the people that stand behind it, but at the same time, it's too low to the ground, so it ends up... Oh, that one just missed. It's 2-2. It's too low to the ground, so it ends up deflecting and becoming somewhat of a pinball machine, and it comes flying back down to earth, where it can hit an umpire, the batter, the catcher. If it was maybe 5 feet up, or maybe at the top of that fence, that one's popped up. To the shortstop, Wiltsey, he camps under it, and a can of corn, he makes the catch, 1 away. This brings up the right fielder, Vinny Roberts. Chris Smith on deck. Harry Green was just talking to us. He's our Greenway photographer. Make sure to check him out, by the way, if you can, on Facebook. He does some very good professional work, and if you want any photos from this game, I've been hearing the shutter flash about 10 times per second this afternoon as there's a swing and a fly ball to left. Roberts to Grady. He makes the catch. 2 down. Springs up Chris Smith. And hey, shout out to the freshman pitchers. Gabe McCracken, Nick Caladros, Jason Stockland. How about them doing absolutely phenomenal out of the gate? You don't see that very often to where the freshmen can just pick up and go. And the fact that Stockland has retired the first 8 batters of the ball game versus a school as big as Washington Township is, that is very impressive. But Harry was saying to us that apparatus behind home plate, that little contraption there, that's lower than the Little League one. The Little League one doesn't even have one of those. They have, they just have the chain link fence, as you can see. You know, they have that, but it just goes straight up. If it goes over the fence, it goes over the fence. I honestly don't see the need for, unless you're going to stick like a lavalier mic and a bird's eye camera straight down at the batter's box, then I don't see a use for it. I really don't.
Probably just old school. Probably been there for a while.
It probably has. There's a line drive to left. Falling is Grady, and he makes the catch. 9 up, 9 down. The Washington Township Minutemen are retired in order. We go to the bottom of the third. 7-0 Green Wave. Ryan Zimmer at the plate, leading off the bottom of the third. Joe Ruffino is set for his second inning of work. He gave up 2 in the second, as there's a swing and a drive out towards right. Coming in is the center fielder and right fielder, and it is caught in center by Matt Bonzal, and there is 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 down. Brings up Charlie Grady.
Yeah, I walked around. A little better at the first base side.
Just under an hour going on the broadcast. This could be a, actually no. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't jinx us.
Yeah, I'm being careful with my lines. There's a swing and a pop-up out towards right center. Bonzal going after it, and he drops the ball. Bonzal has some trouble with it. He brings it in. It is brought into relay, and it's a double for Charlie Grady. So this will bring up Zach Beebe now with 1 away. They will pinch run. No, they will not. I apologize. They were just giving equipment to the third base coach. I always get thrown off by that because I see him running off the base, and I'm thinking, why are they pinch running? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, they're giving it to Inkster at third base. So you do what you got to do, right? Here's Zach Beebe with 1 away. He shows bunt. Grady had to scramble off of second base and then scramble back. It's 1-0. That one is fouled out towards the parking lot. And it lands right in between two minivans. It's 0-2, rather 1-1, excuse me. That first pitch on the bunt was a ball, so that's why some confusion. 1 out, Charlie Grady on second, and he fouls it back to the apparatus. It's 1-2. Beautiful day here in Audubon at the Hank Greenberg Field. Current weather is 64 degrees with very low humidity. Wind blowing out to right at 8 miles per hour. The real feel is as it is, 64. And by the end of the broadcast and at the end of Audubon Day, it's going to go up to 66 degrees. A few scattered clouds in the sky, but no chance of rain, as there's a fly ball to center. Bonzal misplayed it, but was able to make the catch, and Grady holds. There's 2 away. Wasn't sure where he was going. He had started, then stopped, and then started going again. Whether it was to adjust his timing or whatnot, I do not know, but he made the catch regardless. He's made both outs this inning possible, and there's 2 out. Here's Massey. Had a home run right about there in the bottom of the second inning. He bats for the 3rd time. He walked his first time, homered the second time. What will he do this time? First pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup down, and it's 0-1. Of course, Xavier being a part of that dynamic duo, as I like to call them, Massey and Pinckney, both going to Rutgers University, not some of the sub-campuses. I'm talking about the Division I, Big Ten, up in Piscataway. It's the 0-1. The 0-1 is down low. I mean, Xavier's one of those guys, Pinckney's one of those guys where, I'll look back 10 years from now, maybe even 5 years from now, and be like, where are they now? Because guess what? They are going to go very far. I believe that with all my heart. They are going to go very far in what they do. There's a swing and a drive out to right, and it is caught by Ziergowski, and the side is retired. The Green Waver held scoreless, so their momentum is halted just a bit, but their spirit is still not down. We go to the 4th, 7-0 Green Wave. Nine up, 9 down for Jason Stocklin. He continues to be on a roll. Xavier just told us that he was trying to send us another one, but it ended up being a flyout. So Jared Ziergowski will be batting. And the first pitch to him is a swing and a miss on a changeup. It's 0-1. The 0-1. It's down low, 1-1. I mean, Stocklin works very fast. He doesn't dilly-dally. He doesn't spend extra time. He gets the ball, he adjusts his footing, and then he gets back to what he needs to do. And that's partially why this game is rolling as quick as we are. We're probably around, like, what, 1:15 now? Or
104.
1:04, okay. So just over an hour.
Yeah, we're in the fourth inning.
Yeah, and the 2-1. It's a swing and a miss. 2-2. He's back at it. But if you look at Stockland, he does not, you can see he just adjusts his footing. He looks at the catcher, looks for the sign, looks for Zimmer to put his fingers down, and then he just takes a deep breath, kicks, and goes. And there's a swing and a miss. Got him. What are they saying?
No idea.
No idea. Unintelligible.
I love the enthusiasm.
Yeah, I love the effort that they have, even if it's unintelligible. Most of what I say is unintelligible anyway. So here's Matt Corner, to second baseman. First pitch is a swing and a miss on a changeup. They have not been able to figure him out yet, and it's 0-1. You have to imagine these Minutemen hitters, they know that they're facing a freshman who's making his first start. Maybe they don't know that, but they're facing a freshman who's making his first start, his first appearance with the Green Wave as the starting pitcher. He's made he started in left field but didn't bat a couple days ago. I believe it was in the West Deptford game. But that was it. This is his first pitching appearance all year. Maybe he's done some in JV, maybe he's done some on the freshman team. But Jason Stockland is very impressive, and I am very enlightened by what I see this afternoon. 1-2. No, it's 2-2. That was close. It was right on the outside corner, just didn't go his way, and the count is even. Two to corner. Swing and a miss. Set him down again. And this brings up Jack Fitzpatrick. We got two, says Driscoll. He's one of the most vocal men on the field, really. Because he's the guy in charge of keeping track of the outs for the outfielders for Grady, Massey, and Beebe. And here brings up the catcher, Fitzpatrick, the sophomore. First pitch, inside at the knees, 1-0. There's a line drive, foul. Almost was the first base runner for Washington Township this afternoon. But instead he stays alive, it's 1-1. There's a pop-up, foul. And clank, hit into the street there. One and two, 7-0 Green Wave. They scored 5 in the first, 2 in the second. They haven't scored since, but there's a pop-up out towards shallow right. Driscoll and Beebe. Driscoll makes the catch. Beebe lost his hat again. He needs some tighter hats up in his booth. But we go to the bottom of the fourth. Moving along from Hank Greenberg, 7-0 Green Wave. New pitcher for the Minutemen, Vinnie Roberts, who started out in right field but was taken out after the performance by Ziergowski gave up 5 runs in the first. So Vinnie Roberts back in the field. He is on the mound. However, the outfield alignment stays the same for the Minutemen. Striano in left, Bonzol in center, and Ziergowski in right. Don't forget, this broadcast is brought to you in part by the Borough of Audubon. Of course, my usual script would be to say that Commissioner Lee, Commissioner Whitman, and Mayor Jacobowski invite you to Audubon Day, but Audubon Day is going on right now, so why don't you do it now? Why don't you take your trip down to Walnut Street or any of the adjacent boulevards and get yourself some hot dogs, get yourself whatever they have there. They got vendors, they got different games and prizes, everything of the sort, everything for all ages, from kids to the adults, of course. The fun does not end after 3 o'clock. There is a beer garden that's going on right now. However, that also goes from 6 to 10 tonight, basically Audubon After Dark. Make sure to follow the Audubon Celebration Committee, Audubon Celebration Committee for more information on all Audubon events, including the 4th of July parade and all of the other events that go on in this great town of Audubon. Make sure to follow them for more information. It's 1-0 to Charlie Grady. That is not Charlie Grady. That is Tyler Wiltsey. My apologies. I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but it's 2-0 to Wiltsey, the freshman shortstop. Upstairs, Fitzpatrick nearly standing up to field that ball. It's 3-0. Strike one, right down Broadway. Down and away, going to the tarp. Wiltsey walks, and this brings up Perosi. First pitch to John Perosi. There's a swing and a pop-up on a pitch way up. Going over and making the catch is the second baseman, Connor DeTulio. They took Matt Corner out. I didn't even notice that. Okay. So Connor DeTulio is the new second baseman. So now here's Sean Driscoll. Running is Wiltsey. Breaking ball right down the zone, and they got him. No, they did not. I thought that tag was down, but it is called safe at second base, and Wiltsey moves up 90 feet. Stolen base for Wiltsey, one of many this year, and it's a 1-0 count to John Perosi. Perosi. Excuse me. Don't know what I'm talking about. It's upstairs, 2-0. The 2-0 is a swing and a foul back towards the township seating area. Yeah, Audubon's a great place to be for these kind of celebrations. Audubon Day was always held down the streets of Merchant, but honestly, I like having it in that lot where the rec center is because you're disrupting very little traffic. You're only disrupting a part of Walnut, as there's a swing and a drive down the left field line, headed towards Striano, and he makes the catch. Wiltsey holds at second. There's 2 down. So now here comes up Driscoll. As actually, hold on. Where is Driscoll? That is Isaiah Pinckney. That wasn't Sean Driscoll just batting, right? I don't think so. That's a foul back. Where is Sean Driscoll? Hold on. Let's look back at the dugout. I don't see him anywhere. Oh, wait, no, that might be him right there. What is going on? Here is Isaiah Pinckney with the 0-1 pitch is a strike. Unless I'm crazy, I think that was Perosi and then they skipped Driscoll. Unless they made a change that I don't know about, I don't see Sean Driscoll anywhere. There is some movement in the dugout. They're obviously doing something. I'm just very confused. We'll figure it out when the inning is over. We might be able to talk to Xavier about it. He's basically our on-field correspondent as the 0-2 pitch is outside. It's 1-2. I mean, there's Pooley, there's Perosi. Don't know. Ground ball. That one gets through the glove of the third baseman. Corner as it goes down the line. Now going to second is Pinckney, and the throw down is not in time. So heads up base running. Puts 2 runners in scoring position. Runners on second and third with 2 down. How about that? So here's Scott Lynch. I'm very, very perplexed by what's going on here. Because I don't see Driscoll in the dugout. I don't see anything really out of the ordinary except for the fact that Driscoll didn't bat this inning, unless I'm 100% crazy. If so, I apologize. But we're going to clarify with Xavier Massey what's going on when we go to the top half of the 5th inning. There's a swing and a drive out to right. Heading over is Zergowski. And he calls him off to end the inning. We go to the top of the 4th. Jason Stockland still rolling along. We'll see how he does this time. It's 7-0 Green Wave. Going to the top of the 5th, my sincere apologies. Driscoll did bat. I don't know why we thought he skipped him, but I just let it go too far, and I didn't realize that he had hit the high pop to second base. So there's a swing and a drive out to center field. Massey is there. He makes the catch, 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 down. So top of the 5th inning here from Hank Greenberg. As the batter for this time around will be Dan Risley. Number 30, no, that's not it. Number 34? Number 14, excuse me. Number 14, Dan Risley. He bats for the second time, 0 for 1. That is a ball, 1-0. Massey had to show off some more defensive range on that play. That one's in the dirt. It's 2-0. Even in the field, you know, this Green Wave team, they are very vocal. They know how to hype up their team, even if they're in the dugout, even if they're in the field, even if they're 300 feet away. You know, they know what to do. As that one is inside, it's 3-0, and Stockland is at risk of giving up his first base runner of the game. We'll see if they can get him back, though. 3-0. Downstairs, ball 4, and the Minutemen have their first base runner of the game. Now here's John Striano. So runner on first base runner for Washington Township, and a swing and a miss. Foul ball down the right field line. I thought that was fouled, and I thought it was fair, and I kept my call rolling, but it is a foul ball, and it goes to the Washington Township, quote, bullpen. Inside. 2-2. Excuse me, 1-2. My apologies. Upstairs, now it's 2-2. Now I'm a little worried about Stockton. I feel like he's losing his way a little bit, but he's still keeping himself in the at-bat. I think he's just being very careful. He also might be losing his control just a little bit. Swing and a miss. Set him down, put it in the books, 2 away. And this brings up Matt Bonzal. The lefty center fielder, Matt Bonzal, made a couple of good plays today, ranging to his right, and with a runner on first and 2 away, he looks to keep the dream alive for Washington Township as he bunts and Zimmer pump fakes. I think he eventually kind of backed off because Bonzal was right in his way and he didn't want to have to throw through him, so it's 1-0 to Bonzal. He bunts. First base side, throw to first, is in time. Great defensive showcase from the Green Wave, although knowing how our box score looks, you're really going to bunt down 7? I don't know how I feel about that. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 5th. 7-0 Green Wave. New pitcher for the Washington Township Minutemen. It's Ryan Silnick, 6'2", 210 pounds. He has had one appearance this year, which was only 1 inning. The last time he pitched was on opening day versus Kingsway on April 3rd, where he had 1 inning, gave up 3 earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and that ERA is actually right now sitting at 21. That was the 8-2 loss versus Kingsway. Hasn't pitched or batted since. So he's kind of a PO, pitcher only, as we like to call him. Not the other meaning for PO, but he will face, to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning, Ryan Zimmer, Charlie Grady, and Zach Beebe, the 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters. In the Green Wave order, they are up 7-0. They had an early start, and then the Flames seemed to die out just a little bit. However, their defense has still been very much immaculate this afternoon. They scored 5-0. They scored 5 in the first inning, 2 in the second inning, and they haven't scored since. However, they've gotten a couple men on base, and they've had a couple good semblances of at least attempts at a rally. So 3 runs away from a potential mercy rule. However, don't think we really even want a mercy rule at this point. You know, you just want to win. Audubon currently 7-4 in 2021. There's a high drive to left. That one's way up in the air. Going back is Striano, and he missed it. He completely missed the ball. He had his glove up. I think he lost it in the sun, which is basically at the apex right above us. And it is a leadoff double for Zimmer, and it is runner on second with nobody out. Here's Charlie Grady, as running for him, I believe, will be either Broadhurst, Dempsey. It is Broadhurst. Here's Charlie Grady, the junior left fielder. Ground ball. Foul. Warming up in the Washington Township bullpen is, I can't see because of the right fielder, but, they have 2 fellas warming up. Okay, so we'll check up on who that is when we get an opportunity. But it is 0-1 to Grady, and that one is inside. Okay, so one of them is number 22, which is not on our roster, but we will try to get that settled when we get a chance. And the second fella is number 6, which is Luke Linden, as that one is fouled. And it is caught in the Green Wave dugout. I don't know who caught it, but I missed it. Somebody... Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, it's an issue with the Washington Township bullpen. One of their pitchers is in the field of play because they need... Okay. So, yeah, they didn't have enough room for 2 pitchers to warm up because one of them... There's a line back there and a cone that's technically in the field of play as there's a base hit goes to left. Running around third is Broadhurst. He will score in the first run since the second for the Wave. It makes it 8-0, and Charlie Grady with an RBI double as that one gets extended. And this brings up Beebe. So it appears that now it is just number 6, Luke Linden, number 22. Oh, I see. So they're warming up behind the dugout and behind the seating area because they don't have enough space. And number 22 is not listed on my roster either, so we will maybe ask a Washington Township parent when there's a stoppage of play who that may be. As there's a line drive in the center, a base hit. Charlie Grady's rounding third. He's coming to the plate. He will score. It's 9-0. RBI single for Zach Beebe. Not a rare offensive production, but not something you see every day. He's much more of a defensive guy. Here is Massey. Ball 1. Line shot to third, it's caught, and the throw back to first goes way over his head, and it hits off the right front tire of one of those cars. And now going to second, and I believe to third. That should be a 2-base error, so Beebe should go to third, right? Yeah, they're gonna look this over. Or not. BB will go to second base. Okay. I for sure thought that he was going to go to third base, but there's a liner in the left. Foul from Wiltsey. It's 0-1 to Tyler Wiltsey. It's 1-1. In the dirt, going to third is Zach Beebe. He gets in there, no problem. 2-1. Infield is in. They want to keep this game alive. That one gets away, but they hold up to it. It's 3-1. If Wiltsey walks in, it will be a double play opportunity for Perosi and for the Minutemen defense. 3-1. That one gets away. BB coming to the plate. And that's going to do it. I believe so. They're going to pull him off. And the disgrace of the mercy rule strikes again as it's 10-0. And the Green Wave win. And that is a no-hitter through 5 for Jason Stocklin. And even though the mercy rule strikes again, you still got to feel for this Green Wave team. That was such a great game, despite the fact that the 10-run rule ruined it all. The Green Wave win it, 10-0. Stay with us. We're going to interview Stocklin. We're going to bring him out here because he did throw a no-hitter, but it's just not the no-hitter you wanted because of the fact that the game ended early for unreasonable reasons. We'll be right back after this. Well, that jersey's going to have to go in the wash after this one. Jason Stocklin, your Audubon Green Wave Player of the Game, presented by Amato Brothers. Oh, my God. How is that out there? Your first start as a freshman, and you got a no-hitter. Just, first of all, how does it feel?
I mean, it feels great to be out there with everyone on the varsity team and just throw strikes and be able to get the job done.
I mean, this was your first start of the year. You played a couple games in left field, and didn't you do some stuff for JV as well to start the year? So, going from JV to varsity and facing these guys, Washington Township is a giant school. They got at least 2,000, 3,000 kids in a big town, and this lineup just could not have an answer. What was your communication like with Zimmer trying to figure out how to attack these hitters and how to get so successful?
We really just threw mostly fastballs outside because every single time they threw it inside, they kind of just pulled it and hit the ball very hard. So that's what I was trying to locate, all outside pitches, and that's what ended up working.
Yeah, it seemed like the outside pitch was the one to be. You got a couple strikeouts out there, but inducing those ground balls, inducing those pop-outs and fly balls, that fly ball to center field with Xavier on the first out of the game, that wouldn't have gotten us to where we were now for the first out of the game, for where we were running for the 5 innings afterwards. So did you feel that your defense did a good job of backing you up? Because they didn't make any errors. They had a very clean ball game, and they turned some very good plays. How do you feel about that?
It feels great having Xavier out there. He's a real lockdown. He rarely drops the ball or makes any errors, so it just feels great to have him out there.
And then that one bunt in I think the 4th inning, that kind of made me a little upset because you don't do that to break up what would be a no-hitter, and luckily they were able to make that play. When you saw that bunt, was that a little nerve-wracking? Was that a little nervous-inducing kind of moment?
It was very nerve-wracking, but we worked on that for a couple of hours in practice every single day, so I was really just prepared for that.
I mean, it was a really close play, and unwritten rules or not, they were prepared for it. As we got Ralph Shiva out there saying hello to us, and my goodness, just what a game. Now going forward, I talked to Nick about this on Thursday. We were on a good roll starting on Thursday and Wednesday with those back-to-back wins. Now that we've got 3 in a row at least, coming back from Myrtle, this is the playoff push. How do you feel about your team going forward in this last month of ball?
It feels great. I mean, we just made the Diamond.
Classic, yes.
Everything's kind of slowly connecting together, so we should be good.
Yeah, and that will be a game that I'll have to put on my calendar. If you didn't hear Rich Horan announce to the team back there that the Green Wave, with that win, did make the Diamond Classic, which is a invitational tournament. We'll be able to cover that game as well, assuming it doesn't conflict with anything else on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll let you know if that happens. And your jersey's pretty darn cold. You might need to warm up after that. Thanks, Jason, and congratulations. Show them the baseball on camera. There you go. There is the no-hitter ball from Jason Stocklin. First no-hitter for the Green Wave in a long time, at least in the last 5 or 6 years. So thanks, Jason. Enjoy it with your teammates. This one's a special one. Thank you. Well, from everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, as he runs behind us to celebrate with his teammates, he got the Gatorade shower. He got lifted up like the king of the world, and oh my goodness, what a special day. Even though the mercy rule cut this game short, the final score today is the Green Wave 10 and the Washington Township Minutemen 0. A no-hitter from Jason Stocklin. I've been incredibly honored to call this ball game and incredibly honored to say that the Green Wave are in the Diamond Classic in 2022, and we'll be right there with you, assuming there's nothing else holding us up. From everybody, I'm Dan Wilkins, wrapping it up. As the Minutemen are running behind us, we're going to wrap it up as well. So, 10-0 Green Wave. We'll see you next time.